me, Amra, and today we're going to be talking about healthcare and how it's a human right. To start off, imagine you're sitting in a car and you're going down the street and all of a sudden someone hits you. Now, you're not hurt, but the paramedics come just to make sure that you're okay. While they're coming, they put you in an ambulance and take you to the hospital. You say, no, I don't want to go to the ER, but they insist that you go seek medical attention. But to the back of your mind, you're thinking, I don't have insurance, how am I going to pay for this? I also don't have insurance, so I can relate to the struggles that I'm about to tell right now. The bill that they hand to you is too expensive for you to pay, and what do? The American Journal of Public Health in 2009 found that 45,000 Americans die each year as a direct result to having no insurance. That's 45,000 lives that could be prevented if they did have insurance in the first place. Healthcare is an inalienable right. The government spending could make for it to be affordable if they really tried. And other countries have benefited from having health insurance, and those are the points I'm going to be talking about today. So first off, healthcare is a right. Universal healthcare basically is when you're provided healthcare and financial protection to all citizens of a particular country. That means that it can be used as promotive, preventative, curative, rehabilitative, and palliative health services. This leads to no financial hardships. The World Health Organization declared it as a basic human right in 1948. Here we have President Ronald Reagan, who recognized that it's an ethical obligation to ensure equitable access to healthcare for all Americans. That means that he thought that healthcare is a right that all Americans should have. Now, Americans don't have healthcare. That's their first issue. About 46 million Americans do not have healthcare. That's over 15% of our population. Our rights are being violated, and we're doing nothing to stop them. Now, everything that's happening, we can do something to fix the problem. Now, if you look to the slide, this is this discretionary spending in 2015. The government spends about 53 to 54% on the military. That's about $600 billion spent on the military. Now, they only spend about 5.8%, which is $66 billion, on Medicare. The Institute of Medicine estimated that ensuring everyone to have universal health care would cost $34 to $69 billion annually. That means that we could afford it if we tried. The money just has to be put into a different and allocated differently. Having universal health care will lower costs for an economy. The government would control the prices for medicine, it would eliminate administrative costs, and it would cause less emergency room patients. Before Obamacare, 46% of patients went to the ER as a primary care physician. That means that almost half of our population that did not have health insurance used the ER as a doctor. That means that people that are actually injured and that are seeking medical assistance in need are waiting for people that go somewhere where they could go just to a simple doctor. We can afford to do this, we just have to implement it better. If you took a look at countries that do it, they're well off, they're even better than we are, and it might change some of your views. Now, this is a map of the globe, and 33 countries are developed. And out of the 33 countries that are developed, 32 of them have universal health care. The one that doesn't is the United States. Now, I'm going to be talking about the different types of healthcare. The first type is a single payer system. This is when the government takes citizens to pay for, or the government taxes citizens, my apologies, to pay for healthcare. And about 12 out of the 32 countries practice this method. The second method is an insurance mandate, which basically means that you get your health insurance through your job. So, say you're an educator, your health insurance is paid through your job as a teacher. Now, 6 out of the 32 countries do that. The third is a two-tier approach, which means the government taxes you for basic government health care, and 9 out of the 32 countries do that. The US is the only one that doesn't have this, and they practice private healthcare system, which is basically where the government publicly finances it, but they don't publicly provide healthcare. Now, all the other countries that do have it have lower rates of paying for healthcare because obviously universal healthcare is free. Canada, for example, has the highest survival rate for cancer and the lowest hospital administrative rates and for asthma and diabetes. Now, we aren't not doing anything about it. We have the Affordable Care Act, which is also known as Obamacare. Obamacare was passed in 2010 by Congress, and a lot of people mistake it for universal health care, but it's not universal health care. Basically what Obamacare does is it attempts to enforce health care as a necessity, as it's mandatory. So it allows states to decide whether or not they want to expand on Medicaid. The law intends to improve the access for health insurance, not to require each state to have health insurance. Now, healthcare should be free. It's an inalienable right, and it's officially been stated an inalienable right by President Ronald Reagan himself. There are monetary issues in regarding having universal healthcare and not. We have enough money, we just have to allocate the money better. We need to implement better. Now there's many benefits and countries benefit off of it too. We would be better off. And we're the only one that doesn't have it. Doesn't that show something? Now we can do it. Different ways to get universal health care for the United States. You could sign a petition. You could write a letter to your local representatives. Why should the government make money off of keeping us healthy? We have rights, and they should be heard. We should have universal health care. Thank you.